What's up, DAW Nation? My name is Wyatt Troy, and welcome to episode 2 of Behind the DAW, where we interview artists and music industry experts on an emotional, philosophical, and artistic level to get inside their heads, gather the best information, and then bring it back to you. By the way, this is a companion podcast to our YouTube series In the DAW, where we invite artists to dissect their songs in real time. If you're interested in that, there's a link in the description. If you have any feedback, question, comments, concerns, or you just want to talk, you can contact me at wyatt@behindthedaw.net. All right, DAW Nation, let's get into it. I'm really stoked that Brendan's my co-host today. Multiplier is over in the UK right now. He's probably asleep right now, so I'm glad that Brendan could fill in and help me out. He's one of my best friends, so it's good to have him here. We're really stoked to have AMIDY here. He just barely flew in from California. Went and picked him up, got some In-N-Out burger, and
oh yeah.
So AMIDY, I want you to tell us more about you. Why you got into music, how long you've been in music, what does AMIDY mean, you know, everything like that. Just give us the spiel.
I grew up pretty much in a musical family. My parents, my dad was in a band. He was a drummer. And so I've had a lot of just influence in music in general. I did musical theater, actually, for pretty much my whole life.
That's incredible. Did you act or what'd you do?
Yeah, I acted. I was doing some extra work with Nickelodeon.
No way.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, that was my dream as a kid. I was like, I want to be on Disney Channel or Nickelodeon.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's really embarrassing because you can find me in the back right behind in Victorious in
What?
in this lame fedora, striped blue shirt, I'm so overacting, it's so embarrassing. I don't know why the director didn't tell me to slow my roll, because it's blackmail. It's so bad.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what else?
Why didn't you, that's a career stopper. Why did you have to go any further, man? That's that's some people's dream, dude.
It was only background stuff. It wasn't any leading thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
But still, didn't you get your name out with it?
No, no, not at all. I was just this random.
You got your fedora out for it, though.
I got my fedora out. I was this random dude just in the background, pantomiming, overacting. Anyways, away from that, back to back off that tangent, to music. Going from theater, I wanted to do more. Before music, I wanted to become a professional soccer player.
Wow.
But then found out that music was my passion, my dream, and what really fed my soul. I kind of looked into it more. I joined a band as a lead singer. We just kind of did cover songs, but it was great.
I'm really curious, what genre? Where did you start, band wise?
I actually listened to a lot of Kings of Leon and The Killers, so
sick.
a lot of alternative. So we did a mix of Foo Fighters, the Beatles, the Ramones, kind of stuff like that. And so I've kind of had my hand in a lot of different genres.
Cool. That's incredible.
But yeah, and then I found it just wasn't really working with the band, and so I started researching just kind of stuff that I could do on my own, and how people made music, because I really had no idea how it was made. I knew piano, but that was about it.
Yeah.
And so I researched, found FL Studio. I started with progressive house.
Nice.
And then kind of made my way eventually to dubstep.
As we all do.
It's the FL Studio path. That's how everyone starts.
Apparently. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, it's just kind of struggling to find what really fed my soul, and in the midst of following trends, I was never happy with myself, and I felt like music wasn't bringing me anything, following trends and kind of doing what other people were doing because it was popular. And that's kind of where I realized when I was going to Icon that I needed to do what fed my soul, because it's a piece of me, and music isn't just something that I make just to make. It's something that I make to like help people in a sense that like I want something that can help someone when they're in a hard time of their life, or they're struggling with something or anything, just like any moment in their life. It can be happy or sad. I just want my music to help them in whatever situation or excite another moment of happiness.
I love that.
I really just kind of like want my brand to like help reunite the world and bring it together, because like this world is, honestly, it's pretty broken. There's a lot of struggle in this world. Like I don't know, like what do you guys think? Like
I'm like really curious. So I remember when we were in LA, you were telling us about like kind of the context behind calling out and how it was very like current topic. Like I'd love for you to kind of explain like what the song means to you and kind of like why you think that's something that needs to be shared on like a media level. Like why is that something that, you know, you feel like you should do through music?
So the whole part of calling out is like the song like fully derived from the selfishness of this world. Like we're naturally born just selfish, and like we want to help ourselves, and we don't really want to go out of our way to help people. And kind of diving deeper into that, I found just kind of like stories, and like you hear on the news when all these refugees were trying to find a home, and we were basically just blocking them out from help or safety, in a sense, health and safety. It just kind of made me sad, and I kind of just wanted to write a song just to kind of help the situation in a sense, and to kind of help bring more awareness to it. In a sense of the story, it's about how people won't go out of their way if it doesn't affect them. Because we're here in America, we're privileged and we're free and pretty much most of the time safe. Like we don't have to deal with all this crap. And so why go out of our way to help these people when it doesn't affect us? And so that's basically the whole idea of calling out, is the selfishness of us not willing to bring it up or help.
Ever since you released this song, because this is a very, very powerful message, has it driven you to take action on these type of things? You know, like giving someone that's homeless money, or you know what I mean? To tell us more about that. How has making this song affected you trying to help these people that are calling out?
Yeah, it's hard, because it's like I do want to always try and go out of my way to help people. Like there was this one dude just like chilling out by Costco, and no one was like helping him, and I'm always kind of weary about like giving money sometimes if you can kind of tell that they're struggling with drugs.
I see.
Sometimes I feel like giving the money can make it worse, because they'll aid into that.
Sure, I see what you're saying.
So yeah, what I usually try and do is buy food for them.
I think that's genius.
So I just got him a pizza slice, and like that seriously just like made his day, and like it made my day. He was so thankful. And like I don't think people realize that like you actually become more giving the more you do it, and like it makes you so happy and like such lighthearted the more you're selfless.
Me and Wyatt actually went to like a music conference in Salt Lake City. They had Cascade there, they had Imagine Dragons manager, and they were asking kind of like what direction the music industry was heading, and they said something that I'm really interested in, and I want to hear your thoughts on. But they said, it was actually specifically Cascade said that the way that the industry is moving is more towards like a social activism, more towards like rather than it just being about partying or about whatever. It's almost like people are realizing the influence behind media, music, fame. And they said that in the next little while, we're going to see a lot more cause-driven music rather than just
dope bangers.
Than just like, you know, mindless bangers. And it's kind of almost like we're in another like great awakening in a way, where people are just like finally realizing, kind of like you said, that our world's really messed up. So I don't know, like, what do you think about that? Do you agree? Do you feel like that's kind of the way things are heading? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I honestly think that's where music is heading, because I feel like music is kind of like a cycle, just like fashion, just how it cycles like every 10, 20 years, how we're getting some fashions from 10 years ago that you never thought would come back. Just like like with music, we're kind of going through that cycle, I feel like, because we went through that 80s and 90s was like fight the man kind of like music and like meaningful social music. And I feel like we're getting to that point again. Because yeah, I feel like people are honestly getting tired of party music, bangers, like all that. Like you can only like listen to so much music that's about partying and like people want something tangible that they can
relatable almost.
Relatable.
Something that like actually speaks to them.
If you think about it, as far as like this party music, especially, you know, like for most people when they're coming out of high school, right? That's kind of the time, or in high school, going into college. That's when party music is just the biggest thing in their lives. Of course, like that makes sense. But as they start getting into their, you know, their early 20s, their mid 20s, and so for some others, you know, far beyond that. But, you know, when they start getting there, they start to realize it's like there legitimately has to be more to life than dope bangers, getting drunk, messing around with girls, jumping on a table, pumping your fist. To me, when it comes to this kind of stuff, this is something with depth. You know, like the partying and everything, that kind of, that's so shallow because, you know, it speaks to like the, just like the body part of me, like, oh, this is exciting, you know, or like, oh, I'm going to feel good from this physically. But I don't know, I just don't feel good emotionally, mentally, especially after. You know, the sex, drugs, girls, I have bigger rims than you, you know, like that
only goes so far.
Something I wanted to touch on, sorry, I thought about this, I should have said it earlier. So how you were saying with this man at Costco, right? You gave him a slice of pizza. This is genius. So something that me and my wife have been doing, because, you know, there is the, if you give a homeless person an extra $1, $10, whatever, if you do that, they do run the risk of going and spending it on something stupid. Why not give them something useful and help them out in their recovery, their rehabilitation, whatever you want to say. So something that my wife and I have done, we actually got like those big gallon-sized Ziplocs, and we'll put a bottle of water in there. We'll put some raisins.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean, granola bar, and we just keep them in our car. Yeah. So like, you know, because a lot of these people who are, you know, they're asking for money or for help or whatever, they're standing at like, you know, stop signs or stoplights or whatever, and so you just roll up, you give it to them, and do you think they're gonna say no? Like, they're homeless, like it'd be great for them, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so no, I thought that was really, really cool. So tell me about AMIDY. Tell me about where the name came from, why it's important to you, how it applies to you.
Yeah, so I right before Icon, I was changing names, and I was just trying to find like a strong name that would resonate with me, and kind of like the idea that I wanted to go for that wouldn't just be a name, like it actually has meaning behind it. And so the word AMIDY, the actual word AMITY, it means peace between nations.
Interesting.
And so I wanted to relate to EDM music somehow. And so I replaced the T with the D, and the D represents dance. So in all, the whole meaning of AMIDY, AMIDY, means peace between nations through dance.
I love that.
That's sick, dude.
I love that so much, dude. So do you feel like, you know, I've listened to quite a few of the songs. What was sorry, I'm forgetting right now. What's the one with Christina Soto?
Oh, Keeper,
and then also Don't Let Me Down, right?
Don't let me go.
Don't Let Me Go.
Thank you. We're all like struggling.
It's okay.
So you got Don't Let Me Go, you got Keeper, you got Calling Out. You showed me one on the way here, which was freaking amazing. What was the name of that again?
Come Alive.
Come Alive. Keep your eyes out for Come Alive. That's insane. I really want you to come back on the channel for that one, if that's okay, because that was incredible.
Thank you.
So that, there was also Breathe. You showed me Breathe, which, when's that coming out?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Got to record some stuff still.
Gotcha. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, like with all these songs, I feel like all of them have a cause. None of them are skin deep. None of them are dope banger. You know what I mean? They're dope banger with a cause, with you know, like depth and meaning. Mm-hmm. Is that going to keep being a trend with your music? Like every song that comes out, is there going to be some call to action, some activist meaning, some deeper substance to it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would like to think so, because I really like meaningful music and making people think. But it's hard to say now because you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. So, like, for example, the song that you did with Jerry, who goes by Scarlett now, but he used to go by Big Jerry. So the song's called Toucan.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that Toucan didn't have some kind of deeper meaning behind it, right? It was just It was just a fun song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's good. I feel like you need to have that mix. You know, I'm not trying to say that you need to always have a song that has deeper meaning. Sometimes those dope bangers are fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes they're fun to make, but yeah, I wouldn't say they're as fulfilling, but
Right.
sometimes like in your soul, like it's just like raging for like a lit banger that's like straight fire, and like you just gotta let that fire out.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll make it. I might not release it. Like there's
Exactly.
multiple bangers that I've made that like I just don't release.
Yeah, so my main question, I guess, is just, I don't know, someone asked me one time this question I just love to ask everybody. It's just like, you know, if you could end up at the end of this career or the end of your life, like if you could end up doing one thing and you had no chance of failure, it was 100% success, like what would you do with your music? Like what effect would it have on the world? Like what would be success for you at the end of the day? You're lying on your deathbed and you've looked back at this life you've created in this. What would you term as success where you could just like die peacefully?
A couple answers. There's the materialistic answer to where like I go on tour, I have iTunes #1 hit, like that'd be awesome. Like all that stuff is great. I feel like the big point of like where I like really succeeded is like being able to like financially support myself and like a family. Like that's a huge thing. That's like what I worry about all the time because it's like it's hard to make music now. Hard to make money from music, and so that's like the part that like always scares me. But on like the emotional side, it's just like being able to help people. Like that's if I succeed in like helping people, like that would be awesome. Any problems that they have, take them away from this world into another fantasy world with my music. Like that would be amazing. Like I think that would be so cool.
That's incredible.
That's super achievable. You know what I mean? Like that's a super cool thing to think about because it's like, man, like you really can at the end of the day have a successful career in life and music because all it really takes is, you know, like a little bit of, you know, a few years and some hard work and I have no doubt like you'll definitely chart and have lots of really successful songs, but like, you know, helping people, like that's really cool.
Thank you.
So that's awesome.
I completely agree. And if we step back, so like everything that Brennan just said is completely and 100% true. If we take a step back and actually look at the facts of it all, could you logically make a living in music? 110% yes.
Yes.
People do it all the time, every day. You know what I mean? Do you have to get creative with it and figure out, you know, like obviously because we don't sell CDs or records anymore, so in order to make you know what I mean, in order to make a living through music, sure, you have to go about it in a unique way, maybe through touring, maybe through ghost production, maybe through doing stuff
streams
for film, through streams, you know. but at the end of the day, factually, everything that you just said at the end of your life that you want to achieve is completely possible. There's legitimately no reason. Well, I can think of 2 reasons right now as to why you will not achieve that. Number 1, you'll die. And if you do, that's okay. Makes sense.
It's not okay.
I guess that's...
Yeah, don't die, actually.
I don't want to.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, if you die, you can't achieve that.
Yeah.
But the only other reason why I think that you cannot make a living in music, and this is still debatable, is if you go deaf. Because Beethoven did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, and also, if you think about... correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure David Guetta is like 90% deaf.
Oh, okay. Then I just got...
But you could also have just ghost producers for yourself, so you could make
so
it.
You're just a face? That
You
makes
could
sense.
make it.
Yeah.
If you're a good personality and face, you could make it.
That's true.
Like we don't know if Daft Punk is deaf. We just don't.
They could have... They could be robots disguised as humans, disguised as robots,
And like, and probably just like Sony owns them, and it's just like this big musical pretend thing for money.
they're run
It's
with cassette tapes.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's the Illuminati. We figured it out.
Triangle.
This is like a question I love to ask people. So everyone's got like their dream list of collaborators. Like if you could collaborate with like any producer, singer, writer, anyone, like who would say? Give me like
7
3.
Lions.
7 Lions.
Ellie Goulding.
Yes.
Ellie Goulding for sure. And Zed. Oh, no. Scratch Zed. Porter Robinson.
Oh, sames, dude.
That is beautiful. Final question, right? Mm-hmm. You live your happy, successful life. You're able to achieve everything that we've talked about. You've fulfilled your dreams. Whether it's materialistically or family-wise or spiritual-wise or whatever. You're about to die. What is, you're about to die. You look over to your firstborn son, you love more than anything, and you tell him you get to tell him one piece of advice to help him with his life, what would you tell him?
It's like what my parents have always told me. This is what I have always grown up with. My parents have always told me, do what you love and the money will come.
I love that.
And that's where I would have to end it right there, because that's like all you need to know.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Behind the DAW. We really hope you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy the questions that we asked, or would you have liked to hear different ones? If you're listening to this on iTunes or any other podcast-related app, make sure to subscribe and leave a review. And if you're listening to this on SoundCloud, make sure to like, comment, and follow, and we'll see you next time on Behind the DAW.